Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of On the Couch Book Reviews. And on today's episode, we are taking a look at the book The Crash by Freida McFadden. And man, let me tell y'all, when I say this is one hell of a ride, a read or a ride or whatever you want to think of it as, because but it's really one hell of a read because. Yo, when I tell you so much happens in this book. So to start off with, it starts off with the prologue, and basically this girl's in like this state, and she's like, no, stop. I don't want this. So then you got the first of the book where she goes home. Tiga goes home, and she's at the crib, and she's chilling, and this Jackson dude comes in, and Jackson is her baby daddy's lawyer, but they've been chilling, they've been cooling. They've been kicking it, so they eating Chinese together. They just chilling or whatever, and she's telling us that this is not a date. This is a business call. This is basically a business call or whatever. But so then he basically tells her, well, we finna get down to business. We are going to go over the contract that dude signed for you, and dude basically don't want nothing to do with the baby. He's a high profile business dude and everything, so he basically doesn't want anything to do with the baby and stuff like that. His name is Thomas, and so then in the midst of that, she she remembers something that happened to her while her and Thomas were together, and let's just say it was traumatic. So that happens. So then she tells them, oh well, y'all need to leave, y'all need to get out my house, blah 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 blah. So she calls up her brother. Her brother's like, yeah, come down, see me, whatever, So she's going down to see her brother. And this is where the story starts to pick up and get crazy. Because old girl is going down the road, and her brakes go out, and she crashes head first into a tree. So, oh yeah, and keep in mind, she's preggo with ego. Preggo with ego. You know what I mean? So, she's the old preggo with ego, and basically, she crashes into this tree. Basically, so there's this guy that comes up, and he's in a pickup truck, and he picks her up, and he tells her, we got a house. I'm gonna take you to our house and see, what's going on with you. We gonna help you and everything. And then, so it goes from Tegan to Polly, and so Polly so y'all remember how I told y'all about the dude that picked her up? That dude's name is Hank. Polly is his wife. So it alternates between Tegan and Polly's timelines. So basically, so it starts telling Polly's timeline of the story, and Polly's just cutting vegetables, doing this, doing that, getting ready for Hank to come home. Her husband's name is Hank, and so he comes home. They're just chilling. And, it talks about how they've always wanted a baby. And Polly has some fertility issues, so they weren't able to have a baby. So this is where
Facebook
stuff
pause transcript microphone in use.
This is where stuff
Pause
gets
button.
real. This is where stuff definitely gets real. So they have Tegan in their basement, and she's in a hospital bed that was Polly's mother's hospital bed. And so they got her down there and stuff. And so you actually see where you go back to Polly's timeline, and basically you see where Hank picks up Tegan and brings her to the house, and Polly's pissed because she's like, he should have been home by now, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, oh, and he tells her, well, there was this girl on the side of the road, and she had crashed into a tree, ripped the car around a tree or whatever. And she's like, and she's just like, oh, well, that's my husband, always helping somebody with something. And like, basically, so then, it just, then it goes on to tell how, like I said, how they put her in the basement and stuff. And, he tells Polly that she is pregnant, and Polly just like, well, that figures, everybody can have kids but me. But here's where it gets twisted though, because Polly, gets this plan to keep this woman, and she wants Hank to go along with it, and Hank is like, nah, I ain't really feeling this. And so, I mean, like, so he's not really feeling it at first, but then she convinces him, and she's like, oh, I'm just helping her, and blah, 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 blah. And she's like, well, we'll only keep her here for a couple of days. And so, meanwhile, Tegan is thinking that Polly is on her side trying to help her. And she thinks that Hank is abusive to Polly, and Tegan has the wrong idea, bruh. I just say that Tegan has the wrong idea about Polly, because Polly's a little bit off a rocker. If you know what I mean. Polly is a little bit, maybe not a little bit, but a lot off her rocker, yo. So Polly is going through what she's going through. And so she's trying to figure out different ways to take this woman's baby. So I don't know. So Hank tells her, all right, well, we can keep it for 3 days. And meanwhile, Tegan's still trying to tell Polly and Hank that I need to go to the hospital because her ankle is real swelled up. I mean, like, so swelled up in the boot that, like, it's crazy. Like, it's badly swollen. And, like, so, it's like, wow. It's swelled up really bad. So she can barely move she can't really move, or she can move her leg, but like, it hurts her to move her ankle and stuff, because her ankle is basically shattered, and so meanwhile, Polly is, like I said, being all sick and twisted, trying to think of different ways she can get Tegan's baby. So what ends up happening, and by the way, and then there's another plot too to the story. There's this girl that lives across the street with this abusive guy. It's her father. Her name is Sadie. And so Meanwhile, like I said, Polly is still trying to figure out how to get a baby because she's struggling with her fertility issues and how, she just wants a baby, and she doesn't feel like her family will be complete until they basically have a baby. So, what happens? Does Polly ever get her wish to get a baby or have a baby? And does Tegan get out of there alive? I don't know, yo. Y'all gonna have to read the book to find out. And when I tell y'all this book is twisted, y'all, I just basically scraped a little bit of the top of the pudding for y'all, man. Like, it's so much more into this, yo. But y'all gonna have to read the book to find out the rest of it, yo. Hey, hope y'all have enjoyed the video, man. And if you like the video, like and comment, man. And like I said, man, like I always say, at the end of most of my videos, man, do what you do your thing, and always make sure you step on the top of your game. You feel me? It's your boy, and I'm out. Peace.